Welcome back. James Biggie here, and I wanted to try something new for this specific channel, for my vlogging and rant channel. I'm going to make a series of videos. I'm going to attempt to make one of these every single Tuesday in the evening after I get off of work and have it uploaded by Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And what this series is going to be called is Unpopular Opinions, where I basically share one unpopular opinion that I have and explain what led me to kind of take a stance on this opinion, why it's unpopular, why people generally disagree with me about this opinion, because I'm an opinionated dude, and most of the time I'm right, but some of the time I have an opinion that many people think I'm wrong about, which I'm still right, because I'm always right, right? But anyway, unpopular opinions. This first one I wanted to do to give you some background on me personally, which will help with the context of this. I love hip-hop music. I love rap. I have since I was a very young child. I have fond memories growing up watching like Snoop and Dre videos on MTV. One of the first albums I ever bought was on cassette. It was Bone Thugs and Harmony, Eternal 1999, as well as like Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. And I've just grown up like with hip-hop as the genre of music that I sort of found on my own and sort of gravitated to on my own. Like, I've always loved like metal and rock and stuff, but that was kind of spawned by my father. I have a video on this channel about me going to see Iron Maiden. Like, I love metal, I love punk, I love rock, I love music with guitars and drums and shit in general, but I love hip-hop. Generally, if I turn on my phone and start streaming music on iTunes, it's gonna be some sort of hip-hop, whatever I'm feeling that day, probably about 75% of the time. So, I have a deep, deep love for the genre. I listen to it every day, and I have for my whole life, basically. So this is where the unpopular opinion comes in. When people who love hip-hop get together and talk, they like to talk about the greatest of all time, the best rapper ever to live. And oftentimes in these conversations, people mention Eminem quite a bit. And now my unpopular opinion is that Eminem is overrated as a rapper. And not a lot of people agree with that opinion, because people fucking love Eminem. Here is how I reached this opinion. First of all, I'm not going to try to discredit the fact that Eminem is a talented rapper. He's a very talented MC. He has a lot of skills on the mic. He has very unique rhyme patterns and cadences that not a lot of people can do to the same level that he can. And for that, I acknowledge his talent. However, I don't find him to be one of the greatest of all time, and that is because Eminem as a rapper is one of the most repetitive rappers ever, in the sense that every one of his albums is kind of identical to the last. And all you have to do to kind of figure this out, or shortcut your way to seeing what I'm trying to explain, is look at the singles. Every time Eminem puts an album out, the first single is the outlandish, funny, vulgar, just absurd, catchy, poppy, silly song, either making fun of a celebrity or just making fun of something going on in politics or society at the time. It's always funny and fun, and there's always a ridiculous music video to accompany it. And that is how every single Eminem album is presented to the world, first and foremost, is with that single. It goes all the way back to like the Slim Shady LP. There's like My Name Is, and then the second single for every single album of Eminem's is always the serious, dark, disturbing, dramatic, deep, intense song that is very, very serious and very, very emotional and connects with a lot of people. Stan is the example as the follow-up to, like, My Name Is, was a very serious song, and he's done that every single album. If you look at single number 1, it's funny and outlandish. Single number 2, it's deep and disturbing and dark. And then single number 3 is generally your collaboration, either with another rapper, most of the time Dr. Dre, or with an R&B singer who happens to be popular at the time, Rihanna, or whoever it may be. But there's always, like, the funny song, the dark song, the collaboration, every single album that comes out, or something close to that pattern. And I know that the singles don't make the entire album, but the pattern is still the same, and the songs in between the singles on the actual album tend to land in a fairly similar territory to each other if you actually listen to it pretty deeply. Now, I'm not saying that Eminem sucks. I've never thought that, and I don't think that. I'm just not the hugest fan of Eminem in general because of that. I don't think he does anything particularly better than the other greatest rappers of all time, or people that are considered that. And I just feel like his sense of uniqueness has kind of worn off after, like, the second or third album. Because it's very samey, over and over and over again, the same sort of patterns. When I think of the greatest rapper of all time, I think of, like, Andre 3000, or Mos Def, or KRS-One, or GZA, or even some independent, lesser-known rappers like A$AP Rock or Slug from Atmosphere. Or even, like, if we're talking about battle raps, and that's where you're basing your thing off, your opinion off of, or whatever, for greatest of all time, there are battle rappers that are far vastly more talented, or more, have a better flow and can battle better, or at least on par with Eminem, because Eminem was known to be a battle rapper coming up. So there's dudes like Sage Francis, who came up sort of in the battle scene first, and then started writing amazing music or whatever. Or Idea. I mean, obviously KRS-One is probably, like, the god among god rappers for battle rap and for competition rapping. But I just feel like in the conversation for greatest of all time, there's probably 10 other people that I would list above Eminem, probably 50 other people, honestly. There's a lot of rappers out there, and for one reason or another, you can kind of converse about a lot of them as being the greatest of all time. Tupac, although I feel Tupac is a touch overrated as well, I feel is more deserving and a better candidate if you're going to talk about the greatest rapper of all time. Biggie, even like MF Doom. There's just tons and tons and tons of rappers. Jay-Z would be in the conversation, I think, before Eminem. So regardless, that being said, in the comments here down below, disagree with me, because I know most of you are going to. Let me know what you think. Let me know how I'm wrong and why my opinion is garbage and why Eminem is the best rapper of all time, if you think that he is. Because most of you do, or a lot of you do. And I've been proven wrong before, but I feel like this one isn't, you're not going to. So that's all I've got to say about that. That is kind of how this series is going to be. It won't always be about rap or music or whatever. I'm going to do some stuff about comic books, about movies, about my unpopular opinions throughout every aspect of life. So that's what I've got for this week. Come back next week and check out next week's unpopular opinion. And also check out some of my other videos here. I'll link a couple right down here and here below. So click on those, check them out. Also, there's a subscribe button that'll be up here at the end of the video. It'll be my face. Click it, and you'll be signed up to see when I post another video. And if you click the bell down below after you subscribe, you'll prioritize being notified when I put up a video. So definitely like, comment, share, subscribe up here, and I'll talk to you guys again soon for another unpopular opinion.